Hi, I'm Kate Zulo, Head of Education here at the Litchfield Historical Society. Today we're going to be taking a look at possibly the coolest object from our collection. So I'm down here in our research library, where if you've ever come to do research, this is where we pull objects from our collection for you to look at. I've already gone ahead and pulled these 3 boxes from our Tallmadge Collection. These boxes contain the correspondence between General Washington and his spy master, Benjamin Tallmadge. Now, all of the letters in this collection are handwritten, which means they can be a challenge to read. Not the worst handwriting I've ever seen, but definitely takes some getting used to. Luckily, Litchfield's 5th graders have gone ahead and transcribed a lot of these documents. Now, reading through these letters can honestly be a bit dull out of context. He's often talking about where somebody is, where they're going. He's looking for blankets, he's looking for horses, he's found horses, he needs money to pay for horses. And that information is actually really important for winning a war. After all, you're probably not going to win a battle if you don't have any horses. But it may make you wonder, like, where's all the cool spy information? And that's when we get to the July 28th letter. What makes this letter so cool is the fact that it's written in code. So by July of 1779, Washington, Tallmadge, and Culper had started using a code book to conceal the information in their letters. In a July 25th letter from Tallmadge to Washington, Tallmadge writes that enclosed is a scheme for carrying on the correspondence in future with Culper. He goes on to say that he thinks it will be sufficient to render the correspondence safe and put it out of the power of anyone to decipher our letters in case of accident. The way the code worked was by replacing certain key words with numbers. Let's take a closer look at this. If we read the sentence towards the bottom, it says, 725 has just returned from 728 with the 167, 356 from 723. Of course, that makes no sense. But if we have the code book, we see that 725 is actually code for Caleb Brewster, a member of the Spy Ring, and 728 is code for Long Island. So that first line reads, Caleb Brewster has just returned from Long Island. The next coded word is 167. That stands for enclose. But notice that there is a squiggle above the number. That squiggle was used to change the tense of a word. So the word enclose becomes enclosed. And 356 is letters, and 723 is Samuel Culper Jr. So the whole sentence reads, Caleb Brewster has just returned from Long Island with the enclosed letter from Samuel Culper Jr. But what would they do if there is a word that they wanted to have in code but wasn't part of the code book? Well, they could also use a direct letter-to-letter code. If you look at the underlined word here, it reads RBCEMU, which makes no sense. But if you had the code book, you could find out the true meaning of that word, which I'm not going to do right now because I want you to have a chance to decode it yourself. If you go to our website, litchfieldhistoricalsociety.org, you could find a copy of the coded letter as well as excerpts from the code book for you to decode it yourself. Once you've done that, come back next week where we'll discuss the cool spy information that was hidden within the letter. Hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.